Love breathes underwater, like sea creatures, slow in how it teaches, gliding, grazing like a graceful ray, an opening anemone, raising tendrils in time to the pulse of the sea, and drawing the minigame. Its only enemy, that toothy little fish of irony. For years it followed me, nipping my Achilles from behind, to remind me of times I was blind to love that never left. When buried, bereft, my heart burrowed low, so no one else could bruise it, didn't know that hiding was the only way to lose it. Since the Ice Age, she's been down in the basement, digging through boxes, trying to find something she thought she had lost. The original skin of shape-shifting foxes, the thing she swore not to lose at any cost. She'd come to believe she was not a real person, maybe a creature someone put a curse on, assuming human form, to learn a lesson while she's here. A shapeshifter, a drifter, more at home, roaming open fields alone, than tethered to another and living undercover in a room no matter how warm. She'd come to miss the furred perk of her alert ears, the magic broomstick of her tail, her padded paws turning circles thrice before she sleeps. But whatever original skin she was born with is hidden away somewhere in a box. So no human lover would ever discover she's not actually a girl, but a fox. One who walks and talks like a regular girl, but if she falls in love, it's the end of the world for her, the permanent transfer from one life form to another. If love ever uncovered her original skin, she might never fit back into it again, slip into it and slink out the door. She might never be the same as she was before. Then she met you, and she wasn't afraid, though you didn't feel like a choice she had made at first, more like a kind of emotion, or expulsion from the secret garden of her discontent. You must have been heaven sent. She prayed for answers from the sky, but looked to earth for her reply, the nodding god of yes, who was so welcome in your eye. Your heart beat a happy tattoo when she opened the door, and yes, it was true, nothing was the same as it had been before you. Like shiny scales of goldfish, you opened eyes on her skin, and they wept out oceans lying within. Old loves fled away to make room for a new one. Didn't think she had it left in her to even pursue one, and recent questions as to whether she was even human. Letters that she didn't send, love she swore would never end, apology calls she didn't make, loves lost or tossed by blind mistake, and all the roads she didn't take. Love is the one who's hard to find. Love is the one who knows your mind. Love is the one who feeds your soul. Love's the one to have and hold. But hold a minute, hold how? There's 100 hungry ways to hold her up or hold her down. Will she still be able to get around? Will she be able to hold her ground? So she digs down deep to the bottom of the box to find the original hide of the fox, and it's there all right. Despite paranoia, some lover would thieve it, slip it on and slink away. The choice was always hers to retrieve it. But who wears furs these days? Perhaps her fears had fallen out of fashion. Perhaps there were more human ways of nourishing a passion. But look, beneath the fox at the bottom of the box, a book about biology. And being a student of life, she took hold of it in her own hand. She let it unfold in hopes it would offer a lesson to teach. It fell open to the name Halocynthia Auranthium, or in more common terms, the sea peach. The sea peach is a creature who looks like a heart, living at the bottom of the ocean. Rooted in place by a sucker on its underpart, grounded, holding steady as devotion, its evolution has chosen this sort of lifestyle. Halocynthia Auranthium, in luminous hues of a peach chrysanthemum by sublime chance or divine artistry, with two branching siphons raised overhead, like the aorta and the pulmonary artery, one to take things in, one to give things out. The sea peach teaches what the heart is about. Through its two siphons, the sea peach feeds, breeds, and breathes, taking in food and oxygen, inspiration, exhaling tiny tadpoles to the tide, to reroute themselves elsewhere in some other place. All this from a creature who has no face. No crises of identity, the ability to simply be. No mind, but no matter, none of the clatter and chatter of the human brain. No broken-hearted sea peach ever drove itself insane, and its offers of asylum have no locks on either side. So she chose the book of life and closed the box on the fox hide. Phylum Chordata. The sea peach is a chordate, just like me. The marine iguana, the great horned toad, and the chimpanzee, which means we all have spinal structures, just like you, the giant squid, the gerbil, and the caribou. Each who shares the chordate name starts out looking pretty much the same, at least in our prenatal form. Then we start to shift our shapes after we're born. From guinea hens to wide-mouthed bass, we all begin as tadpoles, with something like a head and something like a tail. Headstrong and wriggling, just like the rest of us. Prairie chickens, Gila monsters, Arctic perch, and hippopotamus. Cheetahs, horses, salamanders, goats and stoats, and geese and ganders, and the sea peach too, to name but a few. We all start out with heads and tails, but it's here in evolution the sea peach derails. It doesn't grow a spine, and it doesn't grow a face. It only grows a sucker to ground itself in place. Like a heart who hears the murmur of its purpose here on earth, it finds a spot of ocean floor and settles toward rebirth. She studies the sea peach a very long time, until it seemed she'd almost become one, not in the sense of losing her spine, but the sense of trusting in someone. First comes a voice, then comes a choice. Maybe it comes from within and it ripples without, and quietly it tells you what your life is about, in murmured whispers thumping somewhere in your chest. Or it comes from without and touches within, and opens up a million tiny eyes on your skin, and you can see clearly now.